taking those understandings of where we just drew the human hand in those 3D forms, we can now just look at the front view as to how this helps us to draw it much more much more realistically. Okay, so here I'm just going to draw out just that ball shape, right? We went through this in the structure of man, and we can just lightly sketch these concepts out. So I'm just going to put a little bit of neck over there. Okay, so when we put that center line for the eye, it's the same thing, right? We can just begin with the brow area, and we know that it's going to be around here, right? So we can just put in the fat systems in here, right? So we're not doing schematic drawings here. I'm going to be very sketchy here and keep it very organic. Okay. And I'm not into details. I just want to show you these concepts in these very freehand sketches over here. Okay, so I could put the let's say the nose down over here. Right, and then I'm going to get the eye over here. Right, so you can fit 5 eyes, right? 1, 2, 3, then 4, and then 5 on each side. And over here, from where this line was, you know that the brows, the eyebrows are just going to go like this, right? Depending on how you really want to do them. Then you're going to get like these. You can specify a little bit of markings here for those understandings of, you know, that there are 2 muscles on top, right? It's the same concept we just went through. And over here we're going to compensate for the ear. We come down over here, compensate for the ear, and come down over here. Right. So here we're using very simplified formulas, right? And we know that right over here, right, we're going to get that plane over here. And all we have to do is divide this in 3 parts. We're going to get the upper lip over here. We're going to get the bottom over here. It's going to be where that center is, right? It's going to come down over here just like this. Then you're going to get the bottom, which automatically becomes big. You're going to get that fat area here under the bottom lip, and then you can put that nudge in here if you want. And then you're going to get the chin has its own mass, obviously. Right, and over here, you just start to put in the jaw over here. So let's say we'll just shade this in from this side over here. A little bit over here. And you're going to get that shadow under here, right, from those markings that we talked about. And of course, then you would come back and later develop these. I'm just happen to be using a ballpoint pen to do this. And pencil would be completely different, right? We can erase and do whatever we want. Specify the ears over here. And even get into the neck. You can put a few lines here and there. So this is using those same relationships, right? So here in this very sketchy phase of putting the human head down from the front, it's pretty easy to do it because we have that background understanding of the entire anatomical structure which we invented, right? This is our invention. And here we're just coming up with very simple relationships to, again, put the human head down thinking in that 3D form. So let's just go over the relationships again, right? So we know that when this line comes down here, that's why we have this plane, this angle here, because it's going to jump out, then it's going to curve, right? And it makes a difference to help it look more 3D. And we know about this very simple system of putting the fast system down, which allows us to start creating the human head much more faster. And we also know about this line here where that nose is, that when we make these lines for the cheek, they're not going to go down below this line, right? And when we make this line, it's not going to be here, it's going to be here, specifying that we get the concept of it being a 3D form over here, right? And this is that fast system, and it bulges out on top over here, so we put these lines here. Okay, and the second thing is that we know about this angle over here on the face that we need to keep an eye out for, to keep it in a 3D form. And we also know about the width of the lips here. It's going to be pretty much the center of the eye over here, where these two dots meet, and the nostrils are going to be where the eye is, where the corner of the eye is. Okay, and we also know about the ear, where the eyebrow is, the top of it is where the ear is going to be, and where this middle is where this thing just hides in here, right? When we looked at it in that 3D form, that's what that was. So these are like these very universal formulas that you can use to put down the human skull in any pose that you want. So I hope you join me in the next lesson. Thanks.